So I'm here in my garden. This is my heirloom corn, my emerald, beautiful corn. And this is my little banana pup. He's stressing a little bit. You can see it stressing. Let me turn my phone. You can see her stressing a little bit because I don't know what it. I don't know if it's. I didn't give it enough nutrients over the past couple of weeks or a month. But yeah, she was stressing. But that's my heirloom corn, and this is my king cherry tree, my little cherry, one of my cherries. The other one is over here. This is my other cherry tree. And my pineapple experiment. I'm trying to see if I'm going to get some pineapples out of that. And this is my tomato, my beefsteak. But the problem with this is, I don't know, every time I get tomatoes on it, they start getting these little brown spots right here on them. And then they start to crack. I don't know what that is. And I've been researching. I can't figure out what it is for nothing. I had it in a smaller pot, then I put it in this huge 20-inch pot because I felt like it was not getting enough nutrients in the small. I had a 5-gallon pot, but I felt like the beef steak, since it produces big tomatoes, that it wasn't getting enough. And I got these CDs for birds because they came down and ate some of my tomatoes. But you can see it's flowering right here. But every time, and it has no problem producing tomatoes, but every time it does produce, they end up like that. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know if it's some type of fungus or bugs. I don't see any bugs on here, but I don't know what it is. And this is my mulberry bush, or my mulberry tree. And next to it is a little lemon tree, and you probably can see my watermelon down there hanging in its canopy. I have it hanging in its canopy. And then, let me move around over here. I have my apple tree right in the middle here. This is my dwarf apple tree. Didn't produce any apples this year. It looked like it was going to produce apples, then it just stopped all of a sudden. I don't know what for. I was feeding it well. It was growing. It was doing great. Then it just stopped. But this is my my yellow corn, my bantam. I think that's what they call it. And then you can see it has a few insects on it. But I cleaned it up today. I gave them a little fertilizer because they're 1 month old. So I fed them with a little fertilizer, a little liquid fertilizer, seaweed and fish emulsion fertilizer. Today they look great for one month old. They look great. And here's my red acre cabbage. It's a little red acre. This one isn't growing that well, but I have this one, and they're probably, I would say, almost 3 months old. They're going on 3 months, and I don't know why. I think it's because of the smaller pots. They tend to grow smaller, but this is the same cabbage, the same age as this one. But it's just much bigger, probably because it's in this bigger pot. And this one also. But you can see the leaves are all bunched up right there together. Because I have a netting I put over it to keep the moths out of it from laying the eggs down inside where the head is going to form. There's another one. And there's one over there as well. And these are my carrots. And these are heirloom carrots. They're different color carrots. They're probably a month and a half old, or maybe close to 2 months old. And here is my golden acre cabbage. And it looks like he wants to start forming a little bulb in there, but it's been so hot, I don't know if it's going to form or how it's going to do. But this one already has a little bulb forming. And here's another golden. And here's my watermelon. These aphids gave me, they did a job on my watermelon. Even though I was staying on top of them, they still were able to, like, devastate my watermelon plant. They all but did everything they can do to it to kill it. So I gotta get my shears, my scissors, and take all of these leaves off that look like they're fungus or whatever, but that damage comes mostly from aphids, which I was diligent with. I was all over it, but they still did some damage to my melons. If you can see, even though I washed some of them off, there are some right there. You can see it, the yellow and the little black bug right there. Those are aphids. Aphids. They get on your plant and they sit there. They sit in like one spot and just eat and make babies. Eat and have babies. Eat and have babies. And this is my watermelon from this plant. And this is an Alibaba heirloom. And I was like, I'm going to let it grow up. I'm going to do vertical growing. So I let it grow up. And here's my basil that I use to attract the bees and stuff with. But they attract other animals as well. So you have to be careful with that. They attract some unwanted animals as well. You probably can see on there one of these bugs. Looks like some type of stink bug crawling around on it right now. I'm only out here because the rain just subsided for a minute. But I'm over here to my baby. This is my daughter named her Nanny. Nanny the Nana plant. That's what she called her. This is Nanny, Dad. Her name is Nanny the Nana. Nanny the banana. I said, okay, honey, okay, she's Nanny. And I didn't think she was going to produce, but she put her bud out there. Look at her beautiful bud. And she started producing bananas. As you can see, they're all in there and getting ready to come out. And she's the mother plant to that banana plant over there, and a few others I have planted out back behind the gate here. So I'm happy about that. My daughter's happy about it as well. And also this is an all sweet. And as you can see, the aphids had their way. They tried to decimate this one as well. So this is a lesson for me to learn. I think I'll just stick to allowing the watermelon plants to just grow along the ground. That way I think I'll do better, because I don't think the aphids like to go that low to the ground. So I'm gonna just let it grow low. But I have, yep, there it is. It's one melon right there. And I fed this plant a lot. It's nice and bouncy, nice and hard. So I fed this plant a lot of food. So it should have produced more melons, but I believe I'm gonna not, the next time I grow, it won't be on. I want to allow the big melons to go up the gate, up the trellis. I made this trellis, on my gate for my vegetables, like my cucumbers and stuff to grow up. And I was like, what the heck, I'll just allow my melon to grow up at 2 and see what happens. And first it produced some beautiful melons, and then the aphids and stuff just started in on it, and they didn't relent. And when I'm not out here, like on the Sabbath, I don't come out, I don't, farm my vegetables and fruit on the Sabbath, because that's the day that I worship on. I spend that day with the Most High, and just in that one day, like, you'll be amazed how these animals do these plants. So moving right along, those are my grapes over there. And here is my strawberries. They're putting out all these little sister plants now. They had fruit earlier and they were nice and sweet, because if you fertilize them with molasses and a good, like, tomato fertilizer, or just a good fish emulsion with the nitrogen and the seaweed emulsion with the phosphorus and the potassium, you will get some delicious strawberries. Delicious strawberries. They were really sweet, not like in the supermarket. These strawberries with that molasses fertilizer, oh my goodness, they were so sweet. But now they're just putting out sister plants, and I'm just letting them put them out. And I think I'm gonna take them out of this table and take it apart, because I'm trying to redo my garden. I'm gonna take it apart and just put them in regular pots, or make me a strawberry tower. But right now they're putting them all over the place, and that is wonderful. But anyway, we're moving along to my grape plants, and they produced some grapes this year. But give a shout out to California Gardening. He said that the grapes they produced the first year, they won't be like the real grapes. 3 of these are seedless grapes, and 3 of them are regular grapes with seeds. And the birds was coming down eating them, so you see I hung CDs up everywhere because birds don't like, for some reason they're afraid of the CDs, the reflection. I don't know what it is about it. But earlier this year, like in April, and in March, they started growing grapes, and I thought they were like the real regular grapes. And I was like, yeah, we having grapes this year, because last year they survived through the hurricane, but they were damaged a lot. So I thought they weren't gonna make it, but they did rebound pretty well. And then this year they came through and had some grapes on them. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna get grapes this year. But the grapes weren't good. Like, they weren't the real grapes. Like California Gardening said, he was like, you'll get grapes, but they won't be the real grapes. They won't be the good kind. So what happened, I ended up cutting all the grapes off, and there was a lot of bunches of grapes. I ended up cutting them off and putting them in my compost, and it doesn't look like they're going to produce any more grapes this year, because it's already July, the middle of July. So I'll say by the time August, September gets here, they'll start like dying. The leaves will start dying back. These plants will die all the way back to just the wood, and like they did last year. And I'll prune them. I'm gonna prune them back, and then like in January, February, I'll start fertilizing again, because there's no need to fertilize them throughout the winter, because they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna grow. They're just gonna die back anyway. So that's the time you do all your pruning, during the autumn and winter months. And when January, February comes, you start to fertilize because they begin to blossom and bloom, you know, make flowers, and you'll see the grapes come on real heavy. So I'm just looking forward to that. The Most High willing, next year. And that's gonna do it for my video. That's about it. I'm gonna do some transplanting of my cherry tomatoes today, and I'm gonna put my onions in my containers today. I'm gonna transplant those. I've had them in the smaller cups for a few months now. It's time to transplant them to their final destination, so they may produce these onion bulbs, and I will keep you updated with those videos. I'll make videos on that showing you the process of how I do with my onions, and then you'll see it, and I hope that you like it and share it. Hope that you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.